Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is. We are back again, man. And it's time for the Tuesday banger. It's time for the Tuesday banger, y'all. That's a lock. It's time for the Tuesday banger. Y'all know I got a banger. I keep a banger. But like I always say before I start my videos, I have no problem delivering this content to all the people that's out there doing the right thing every day, working a 9 to 5, working your business, getting to the bag the legit way, staying out of trouble in the process. I don't have no problem making sure I got something for y'all to listen to in the AM. I have no problem looking out for y'all like that. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I have no problem doing these things, but I just need y'all to do one thing. And that's just stay out the way for me, man. That's it. I just want y'all to stay out the way and live a regular life. Try living a regular life and see if you like it or not, man. Of course it's gonna be boring. Of course you're not gonna be outside as much as you've been. Of course you're not gonna be hanging out in the areas you used to be hanging out with. Of course you're not gonna be hanging with the usual friends you used to been hanging with. You're not gonna be doing these things when you choose to live the regular life and start staying out the way, man. All of that is gonna change, man, but not for the bad, for the good. It's gonna help you. It's gonna be in your favor. You're gonna be moving different, man. You're gonna start seeing what things are, man. You're gonna have a great vision of things. I promise you if you switch it up. I just want everybody to try it out. It's nothing foreign. It's just regular people living normal lives, and we're not worrying about going to jail because we're not breaking the law. That's all I want y'all to do is just try it out, man. It's a normal life. I don't care what it is, man, but it's gonna be a little boring. But at the end of the day, you're going to be alive. You're going to be out here to see your family grow. And you're not going to be in those jails. But at the end of the day, what do I know, man? I'm just trying to get y'all to stay out the way, man. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the Tuesday banger game right here. So what I need y'all to do with this one, like, share, and subscribe. So y'all, let's get this. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called He Did It to Survive, Part 1. Crazy, man. Crazy situation right here, y'all, man. This is a crazy situation, man. Like I always used to wrap my brains around, you know what I mean, why dudes choose to go a direction they was forced to go into, man. Like, even if you're in prison, like, you still have the option, man, to tell the police, take me to the hole. You still have the option to tell the police that this man is trying to do whatever to me. You have the option to do these things. Now, it's going to make your time a little bit more harder in prison, but at the end of the day, you're still going to walk away, man, who you are, man. Like, when you just give up and just settle for anything and just let anything go in prison, that's how the rest of your bid is going to go, man. And you're just going to have to do that. So when I be doing these stories on situations like what I'm about to tell y'all, the main number one question be, why do these people do these things? And we always be trying to figure out, why do these people do these things, man? It's like, it was only one time out of all these situations I done told y'all about that I actually kind of got slight understanding of why things happen the way they do when it comes to these situations. It was wild, y'all, and I got to share it with y'all, man. So with that being said, we on Susses 2 for this one, y'all. We are on Susses 2 for this one, man. And I can remember being in 4C on this one, y'all, man. We in 4C. And I done been in the pod for a little second now, man. I done been in 4C probably 4 months, 5 months, chilling. Everything's going smooth. And I can remember, man, I was in the cell with my homeboy, and I was rocking with 2 other dudes in there. My other homeboy, K, he was in there, you know what I mean? I used to rock with K, he was from the town, I used to rock with him, you know what I mean? And I was rocking with another dude, a couple of other dudes from the town. There was a few dudes in there from the town, you know what I mean? And I used to rock with them. Everybody just chilling, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody doing nothing, ain't nobody pushing nothing, ain't nobody trying to step on nobody's toes, you know what I mean? When the situation landed in our lap, we was hustling, we was getting to some little bit of money, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we just was in bit mode around this time, y'all, gambling, chilling, just staying out the way. Now, I was in the room with a dude that was super cool, you know what I mean? He was cool, and he was older than me, you know what I mean? Me and him, he's always trying to get me to play chess. That was his thing. And I know a little bit about chess. That's why I know about the sport. I don't really know how to play. But I knew a little bit about chess because of him, because he always tried to get me to play. And sometimes when we used to be on institutional lock, I used to play with my roommate, you know what I mean? But he used to always just try to like this, you know what I mean? Like we used to battle in Jeopardy. Like he got me, I used to play Jeopardy with my family, my mom back in the day. My mom, my pop still watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune every day. And that's how I know about that. So me and him was in the cell. Me and him used to battle in Jeopardy, you know what I mean? He used to always beat me because he knew a little bit more. He was a little older than me, man. But at the end of the day, he just was a cooler, older guy. You know what I mean? And he wasn't from Tidewater or nothing, man. He was from Richmond, you know what I mean? And me and him was cool. We was in the cell for like 3 months, you know what I mean? Then he got transferred. So when he got transferred, you know what I mean? I'm trying to move in the cell with my homeboy K, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get in the cell with him. So I'm like, man, my roommate dipping, bro. Like before I gotta stay in the room with a weirdo or whoever they gonna bring in here, I'm gonna move in the room with you. You know what I mean? So K was like, all right, that's cool, that's cool. He was like, look, I'm gonna get my roommate to try to switch, you know what I mean? So we try to holler at the sergeant. The sergeant was like, look, I can't do nothing this week. He clapped us for this week. You know what I mean? And sometimes that happens in prison when you try to make something happen and you know what I mean? Like something like what we trying to do and then the news come back like that. I can't do it this week. Knowing that we know that cell is not gonna stay open the whole week. You know what I mean? Or my cell is not gonna stay open the whole week. So I already knew how this was gonna play out. You know what I mean? I knew it was kind of crazy. I knew it was gonna be a crazy situation. You know what I mean? So the whole time I'm trying to make this move shape. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm feeling like it's not gonna happen, man. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I'm just gonna have to deal with whoever they bring in my room. You know what I mean? Forget it. I just gotta deal with it, y'all. So that's how I was carrying it. So K roommate was already cool with me switching to going in the cell with K, and he would move in my old cell. You know what I mean? He was already cool with that. Like he was like, that play was already like, you know what I mean, locked and sealed. His cellie was kind of like he was older than us too. K's cellie was older than us too. He was a Chesapeake kind of older dude. You know what I mean? Like in his 40s. You know what I mean? He was older than us, cool. You know what I mean? But he was cool with us switching. He didn't care because he knew me and bro had rocked with each other. So everything was set in stone. We just had to deal with how the situation was going to happen. You know what I mean? So 2 days rolled by. I look up. They move a black dude in my room. Black dude. I want to say he was from the beach. He was all right, but still though, I'm trying to move in the cell with my man. So I already had let him know when he moved in there, like, yo, look, I'm going to slide. You can get the bottom bump. You know what I mean? But I'm going to move in the room upstairs with my homeboy. You know what I mean? Like, we already had this planned out before you got there. He was like, for real, you gonna move? I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So he like, well, his roommate gonna move down here? I was like, more than likely. You know what I mean? That's how it's gonna play out. You know what I mean? So I'm just giving you the heads up. That's how it's gonna be. He like, who his roommate? I showed him who his roommate was. He was all right with it. I'm like, all right, that's a bet. So another 2 days go by. K roommate, man, out of nowhere, we in the pod, everybody chilling, we out there just looking at the TV, and we hear the lady come on the intercom and say, get your nasty tail out the shower. K roommate was in there being the number one gunner. He was in there wilding now. I knew he might have gunned sometime. But I'm pretty sure he was one of the old dudes getting showered, try to shake out a little bit, pause, you know what I mean? But he get told for gunning. The lady called the sergeant. Sergeant coming in. Sergeant goes straight to the shower. Tell him, you packing up right after you get out that shower. You know what I mean? That's what they do when you get caught for that gunning. You know what I mean? So K Sully was going to the can, y'all. He was going to the beam. So we looking at it like now, like that's crazy, man. The move gonna be, you know what I mean? What we gonna do now? You know what I mean? So, bro, like whoever moving the room, me gotta know they gonna be moving in your old room. So that's just what the play gonna be. And he went and told the sergeant, like, look, I'm trying to get white in here. So I'm letting you know now, my roommate come. He was like, long as they agree, y'all make it happen, just bring it to me next week. So we was like, all right, that's the move. So Monday hit, you know what I mean? Monday finally hit. Monday come, we in the junk chilling. We already here. There's new intakes. They already in the child hall eating. We already heard the word, you know what I mean? So bro already know he about to get a roommate, you know what I mean? He just don't know who his roommate gonna be. So he look up, they bringing dudes in. They bringing dudes in the pod. So I look up, I see a little mixed looking dude. One of the dudes was like a mixed looking dude. He was like a mixed dude, kind of had the little curly fro, you know what I mean? We're gonna call him Paul, man, but we seen him coming in. As soon as he was coming in, we knew he was going on the top tier because he pushed his cart straight towards the steps. So he goes straight towards the steps. He take his little stuff out, you know what I mean? Which he didn't have anything. We picked that off the rip. We saw that immediately. He has nothing but the stuff that they gave him to come to penitentiary. You know what I mean? And that means you're fresh in penitentiary. That means you've never been to another camp. That means that you're fresh meat paws to a lot of predators that's out there searching. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. Now, when these intakes, you back then, what I'm talking about, like around this time, 04, 05, like when these new intakes come in, like you would have dudes on their predator all-time high skills. Like you would see them out there being psychos, man. That's just what they do. They'll be out there like whistling and seeing and checking the scene. And that's the realities of prison, y'all. That's what y'all will see if y'all ever come to this dangerous place. You will see grown men standing behind a fence acting like they really trying to see who's coming in. You know what I mean? Not because they trying to see if they related to them. Not because they trying to see if they from their hood or their city or whatever. No, they trying to see what's going on with these guys. They trying to see who's weak, who looks young, who looks stupid. That's what they trying to look for. So the mixed dude that's coming in, you know what I mean? He kind of all right. Because at this particular time, it wasn't no predators that I knew for a fact. Y'all know I be on my scan game 100%. It wasn't no predators in the pod at this particular time. Now, it was a few dudes in there that shake, rattle, and roll. Now, that's a difference between being a predator. But Paul come in, he take his stuff out. He go up the steps. We already know he going to my man's cell. My man was in 36. You know what I mean? Y'all might have heard me talk about cell 36 before when I was in this pod, but this is how I got to cell 36. So he get in there. So when he get in there, I walk up the steps. When I come up the steps, I can see homeboy K. He talking to him, you know what I mean? So when I walk to the door, I'm like, what's up, bro? You know what I mean? He like, oh yeah, hey, look, this is my homeboy Weezy right here. He gonna be moving in here though. This is what I'm telling you. So the dude, the mixed dude, he just standing there looking like he don't know what's going on, but he's getting told as soon as he came to the room he was assigned that, look, you're gonna have to move because my man getting moved up here. That's something else that happens while you're in prison, man. Like, stuff like this happens, man. Like, I'm letting you know. So this is the stuff you might have to go through if you ever come to this place. But he told the man he gonna have to move. So I'm like, yeah, bro, this to kind of soften the blow pause. You know what I mean? Because I seen he was confused. He didn't really know what we was talking about. I was like, yo, look, we already had this in play. I was like, his roommate was about to move this week. You know what I mean? I was like, but he went to the hole and that kind of messed the whole situation up. So this is the only reason why you're in this cell. But I'm like, my roommate, he alright dude too. You know what I mean? You can go in there. You know what I mean? So he kind of like got it. You know what I mean? So my homeboy was like, what's your name, man? What's your name? He was like, oh, he probably stopped down and he was like, oh, man. He had like a real soft voice. Like that his voice paused. Like I can tell that he was a little frightened to be in the big house. You know what I mean? But when you make a mistake, like a big mistake on the street, and you catch a real crime, you go into the big house. You going to where these dudes that I'm talking about. You going to see predators. You're not going to no little misdemeanor camp, no little stupid. No, you going to the real big house. So this is where he's at now. This is where Paul is at. You know what I mean? Paul is right here in the middle of the madness. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at him and I hear his voice. And I can tell that he's a little frightened. He like, yeah, oh, okay, man. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, man, you all right, though? Like, John, all right? So Kay like, yeah, man, go ahead and get your stuff together. So me and him dipped out. You know what I mean? We walked down the steps. And we was walking down the steps. Kay was like, man, young dude look like he's super duper green, y'all. So boom. You know what I mean? We get down there, we start kicking it a little bit. He make his stuff, he make his bed up because he ain't had no TV, he ain't had nothing. He come down the steps, boom. He come down the steps. He come down the steps fighting. I ain't even gonna lie, he come down the steps like this. He grabbing both railings. He like, it's like he gingerly taking, he's like, I'm like, I look back, I see how bro coming down the steps. Now that wasn't nothing, but y'all know I done seen it all. So like, come on, bro, tighten up. Like, you know what I mean? So he come down, he's looking around. He's trying to figure out what he can do, who he can talk to. Off the rip, I told y'all the signs. He doesn't talk to nobody from a city. Off the rip, I ain't see nobody from Tidewater pull up on him. Off the rip, I ain't see nobody from Richmond pull up on him. So that alleviates that situation. So that means he's kind of alone. If you're from these counties and you don't have no friends like that, you don't bump into nobody you know, you feel alone in there. I'm letting y'all know. So he's looking like he's alone. Nobody pulled up on him. You know what I mean? We didn't even ask him where he was from. You know what I mean? Like, but from the way he talked and stuff, like he just, I don't know, he sounded a little scared, and I don't know if he was from Tidewater or Richmond, I don't know, and I ain't saying everybody from Tidewater or Richmond tough, but he just, you know, everybody know what they getting into when they come to this place. So he kind of did. So he's looking around. So he called my roommate, he called Kay. He called Kay over there. Me and Kay was walking laps. Kay stopped. I was so he was like, I'm trying to get on the phone. If it's possible, you think you can help me get on the phone? So Kay like, he seen all the phones was taken up. He seen dude over there. He's like, hey, who after you? White dude turned around. He was like, you after me. He was like, let my roommate get after you. He was like, all right. So he put him on the phone. So everything went smooth that early day. Everything was good. He understood he was going to get moved. He understood what the play was. He done got on the jack. Like I say, at this particular moment, he's not in a pod where stuff is super duper scary yet, but it gets scary. He used the jack. He do his thing. You know what I mean? After he get off the jack, they put us on standby for outside rep. So we about to go outside. So everybody up there, you know what I mean? I went upstairs and changed it to my sweatpants and my sweatshirt because it's probably like April. It's a little windy. It's not warm yet, but I got the sweatsuit on, you know what I mean? So I went and changed in my sweatsuit. So when I come down the steps, I seen a dude. It was a dude in like, we in 4C, so the only part next to us is in 4D, you know what I mean? So like our silent port is, you go around, it's to 4D, like, but it's a little hallway joint out there. Each downstairs and upstairs has this. So when I come down the steps from where I'm coming from, I look and I can see the door. I can see our front door. When I look, I see the dude, Paul, he at the crack of the door, and it's a big black dude. It's a big black dude. Now I done seen this black dude before. We're gonna call this dude Frank. We're gonna call this guy Frank right here. I have seen Frank before in the compound in 2 building. Then when I was in 2 building, I left and came back to 2 building. He was in 1 building. Now he's somewhere in this building, I'm assuming, because he's upstairs in our hallway. Now I didn't recognize him from 4D or nothing like that. But when I'm coming, I had no choice but to see this situation. I come down the steps, I'm like, I see dude, I come to the end of the steps, I look, it is him. So he talking to dude, he talking to Paul. He got a bag, he got a laundry bag in his hand. Soon as I looked up, I see the dude, Frank, he slid, he dipped. You know what I mean? He disappeared. When he disappeared, I seen the sergeant coming through the door. We don't stand by for outside rep. Now the sergeant, he come straight to our pod. As soon as he come in the joint, he pull out the paper. He was like, yo, White, y'all good with the move? Your roommate, where your roommate at? Paul was right there by the door. Kate ran over there. He was like, hey, look, Paul, what's this dude? He was like, yeah, it's cool. My roommate cool with it. You know what I mean? He was like, all right, look, before y'all go outside, y'all go ahead and move right quick. He said, if y'all miss wreck, I'm gonna get them to open the gate for y'all. So I'm like, bet. I run to the cell. My grandma started packing up quick. Out of here. I know my roommate was sick because he didn't have a TV either. Now they about to be in there with no TV game, y'all. Like, he gonna have to watch the TV from the cell because we could see the TV in the pod from our door. So I felt bad, but you know, I'm going to a comfortable spot with my guy at my homeboy. So I packed my stuff fast. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, for wreck. Paul didn't really have a lot of stuff, so Paul was already coming down the steps like when I first go up. So I look, Paul going outside, you know what I mean? Kate was like, yo, I'm going outside, they gonna let you back on, bro. Just put your stuff in there, you know what I mean? Everything was good. So I'm like, cause the only people that had to move was me and Paul, you know what I mean? So I'm like, man, bet. So I put my stuff up, I get everything together. Took like 10 minutes now, I hit the intercom. I said, yo, can you let me out? She was like, yeah. I was like, the sergeant said I go. She said, yeah, he told me she let me out. Boom, I slid out, get downstairs. We on yard 2 right there. As soon as we come out of 4 building, that yard right there. As soon as I come out the door and I'm about to hit the left. I look, I seen Paul. He's at the gate talking to the same black dude by the fence. The black dude got a net bag. He got a net bag like this. You know what I mean? So he talking to Paul. He like, you see him? He was like, that man did like he was in the Olympics. That man threw that bag over the fence, and that's a decent. It's not super duper far to throw, and I seen the throw happen before. He was like, nah. He threw that jump. That jump landed. That jump hit. Paul picked it up. Paul went straight in the bag. Now I promise y'all, man, he went straight in the bag, and this man came out of the net bag with a Snicker bar. Now it was all type of stuff in there. But the first thing this man grabbed out that bag was a Snicker bar, y'all. I couldn't believe it. I promise y'all, I could not believe this. I said, this is unbelievable right here. I looked over at Kay. Kay was like, shh. Man, I'm glad they made that move right now, bro. I don't even, he gonna come in my cell with a bag he got from a booty bandit. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's crazy now, dude. Like, he let off predator. My predator radar detector been went off on him when I seen him in 2 building. So he's definitely a predator, but he messes with the boys too, the dude Frank. You know what I mean? So like, Frank ain't doing nothing but working his angle. Like, and it's like, I'm breaking this down for y'all piece by piece, but like, Frank is basically just working his angle. This is what Frank is doing every day if he can in penitentiary. Frank isn't going home. Frank already been locked up since the early 90s. You know what I mean? Frank done. Like, he likes guys. He's gonna prey on guys. This is what he do. You know what I mean? So when I start walking this way, I look up. Now I can see what part the dude Frank is in. Frank is in 4A, which is the non-smoking part in 4 building downstairs. So he's on that yard with them on the basketball court. So I'm like, oh, that's where he at. So as me and Kay start walking, Kay like, man, that junk crazy, man. He was like, man, he talking to dude Frank. And he was like, man, that dude Frank, he be waiting for the new intakes to come through. He was like, that's what he probably met him at. He said, because when we was in the room earlier, he told me he met a dude, and the dude told him, like, look, I'm gonna teach you about penitentiary and make sure you straight, you need anything. You know what I mean? He used to live out there where Paul was from. I ain't gonna say where Paul was from either, man. Like, cause I don't want this junk crazy, but he was like, he done lived out there. He's not where he from, but he just gaming them for real. So he was like, my homeboy K was like, when he was telling him this, he looking like, man, you going for that, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's wild you going for it. But like, you know what I mean? He said he just stayed out of it, man. You know what I mean? Which is, you know, he could have said something, but at the end of the day, sometimes it'd be too late. You know what I mean? Because we don't never know the reasons of why these victims do the things that they do, man. Like, why they become victims. Like, we trying to figure that out right now in the story. But my homeboy K kind of like swept it under the rug and didn't really school him. You know what I mean? But he heard what he was telling him. So now all adds up that this man that caught him coming from intake, and now he's on his tail. The predator is on him. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing he can do. The predator is on this guy. The predator is on him. There's nothing he can do. He's bait. Like, the bag came across the gate, y'all. He accepted the bag and he ate a Snicker bars out the bag. He's on the yard eating a Snicker bar. Him eating that Snicker bar, I guarantee you it's probably like 15, 20 predators drooling from all angles, from everywhere. Because that's all they visualizing, is freaky, crazy stuff. Once they seen him talking to Frank, that's all they visualizing. So everybody now is thinking, how can they get into that angle? That's how scary and crazy penitentiary is, y'all. So boom, never bring y'all ass down, because this is how it is. You know what I mean? So he talked to dude the whole wreck. They let us off first. So Frank couldn't catch him. We go back in the pod. So now he in the cell with my old roommate. My old roommate pull up on me like, yo, he come in the cell with this big old bag of food. You know what I mean? He was like, who gave him that? He went outside. I was like, yeah. I said, the dude Frank. He was like, what Frank? I said, man, I don't know where that nigga from, man. I said, I know that nigga a booty bandit. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? He like, man, that's crazy. He was like, cuz he come in the cell with all this food, all happy and stuff. I asked him where he get it from. He said his friend from his neighborhood. I'm like, man, that man, wow, he wellin' too, man. I was like, man, I don't know if Frank from his damn neighborhood. Frank was locked up before this man was even born, probably, goddamn it. I was like, man, hell no, man. I said, man, that shit crazy, man. Ain't no way in the world, man. So, dude come back. Another dude that rocked with my celly, which is another old head, he walked up while we was having a conversation. He like, who y'all talking about? Frank, y'all seen that? I was outside, that's crazy. He was like, yeah, man, Frank was locked up since like 90, 91, 89, 99, one of the two. I said, damn, he been locked up 90, 91, gang. That's crazy. This man been locked up since the Redskins won the Super Bowl, y'all. So, boom. I said, that's crazy. That's crazy right there. So, like, it's all adding up at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, I pull up on K. I said, yo, bro, look. I said, man, your roommate, I said, I know he wanted to sell with you number one day. You know what I mean? I said, but look, I said, man, the man moving wrong, bro. Like, for real, man. Like, you should say something to him on the scrump. He was a selling, like, kind of like, just let him know that. He was like, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing to him. He said, because if I say something to him, he be green enough to go back and tell dude, and I got a problem. I was like, you got a point. And you see, these be the reasons why a lot of dudes don't stick their neck out. Pause for people that don't be knowing what's going on, because it's gonna lead to other problems, y'all. Like, just get it. Like, it's gonna lead to other problems. The predator gonna feel like he hating, and he can end up having a problem with a predator for what? Because he didn't mind his business. People are not in there to save lives. People are in there to save their own life. Everybody got their own time. Everybody got their own time. Everybody coming in on their own bid. So that's what Kate was saying. I felt it. I ain't even gonna lie. I felt where he was coming from. So he like, I ain't gonna say nothing to him. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say nothing to him. Everything good. Everything good. You know what I mean? So it's like the days went on. As the days went on in the jump, the dude Paul, he just kind of like kept kicking it with the predator. You know what I mean? Like, the predator was like happy. Like, he was taking it really slow. Like, that's what a predator do. A predator don't mind being patient. You know what I mean? The predator don't mind being patient for a lot of reasons. You know what I mean? We looked up one day, we seen Paul sitting over in the corner smoking Newports. This is kind of like, we're not on a big stretch or nothing like that, but a lot of dudes ain't got Newports or blacks. I would have blacks, but my blacks done ran out. So I was trying to find some Newports. So dude was like, yo, the dude Paul smoking Newports. So when he said that, I'm like, man, because I'm down on my black dust. We're going to commissary in 2 days. I'm smoking a black shade. I'm like, man, I see Paul. I said, yo, K. I called K. I was like, yo, they say, oh, Sully got some Newports. He was like, for real. So he pushed. He was like, you see him talking to him? He's like, hey, Weezy. He called me over there. I walked over there. He was like, hey. He said, he can get you whatever you want. He said, he can get you whatever you want. I said, Paul, what you mean you can get us whatever? He was like, yeah. He was like, Frank looks out for me. Frank give me whatever I ask for, man. You want some Newport? I'll get you a pack of Newports, man. You want a pack? I'm like, I thought about it. I'm like, Kay was like, yeah, give us a pack. Give us a pack. Yeah, we want a pack. So Paul got up. Paul went downstairs. He got the lady let him out. Paul shot downstairs, which was crazy. The lady let him out. I don't know if he said he had to talk to the lieutenant, but he did. Probably like 20 minutes later, he come back up the steps. You know what I mean? He go in his pocket. He throw Kay the pack of Newports. You know what I mean? So when Kay catch the Newports, he like, I said, yo, bro. I said, man, you better make sure. I said, man, make sure you ain't got to pay that back, bro. Paul was like, nah, you're good, man. And then I looked up, it was like 4 or 5 other dudes waiting, like, yo, let me get a cigarette, Paul, come on. White dude swarming around. Let me get a, he like this, he like, that man giving away Cadillacs, y'all, so boom. Frank got him living good. That's just what it is. I told y'all, Frank taking it slow, pause. Like, this is the Predator. I done seen Predator. This is nothing. I'm telling y'all, like, Predators is psychos. Like, he's taking it slow on them, pause. Like, he's just taking his time. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is wild. So, you know, at the end of the day, at least this man went in the pod. You know what I mean? But I started seeing Paul sneak out to go to church. You know what I mean? To talk to him like on a little personal tip. I started seeing that. Like, it was crazy. Like, man, Paul going out there talk to this guy one-on-one. And so I can remember one day we was about to go to dinner. We going to dinner. We come down the steps. We hit the door. We on downstairs solid port. We about to hit the outside door. I see the big black dude. He at first we couldn't see him coming down the steps, but once you got around the corner a little bit, you see him like this. All I see is big black dude. He turned around. Me and Kay about to walk by. He was like, hey, youngster. Hey, youngster. He stopped. Kay stopped, but he looking at Kay. He's not looking at me. He's like, hey, those pack of cigarettes? Yeah, they came from me. They came from me. Paul told me he gave them to you. He ain't supposed to give them to you for free. You know what I mean? But he told me he looked out for you, so he just wanted back. You know what I mean? So I want my pack back when we go to store. So Kay was like, bro, like, I don't owe you no packs, bro. Like, he gave me that. I don't owe you nothing. So as he turned around more, I promise y'all, that John said, he was like, he looked at me, my face was like, that was the alarm going off. Pause, I was like, he was like, yeah, but look, that was a misunderstanding. I need my pack of cigarettes back. I was like, yo, bro, just give me this pack of cigarettes. I said, yo, all right. I said, you'll take 2 blacks. Because I know my roommate ain't ordered no Newports. I know he did. You know what I mean? I said, you'll take 2 boxes of Black & Milds? He was like, he looked at me like, that was the honorable thing to do. The whole time he's saying that shit, I'm like, he like, yeah, I'll take 2 boxes of blacks. I was like, yeah, we got you Tuesday, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, come on, bro. Bro was like, I ain't paying that. Fuck that nigga with. I was like, nah, hell no. Because I knew for a fact that shit wasn't free, bro. I knew it wasn't free. Like, what, you know what I mean? So bro was like, nah, scream on Paul. I was like, nah, bro, listen, I'm telling you, this is a delicate situation. You know what I mean? Paul don't know what the hell he doing. You know what I mean? Paul green as a whistle. You know what I mean? So he like, man, shit crazy. So I know he want to say something, Paul. He see me in the child, he don't say nothing. We come back, Paul in the pod and shit. He see him. Yo, Paul, let me holler at you. What's up, man? What's up? He was like, hey, what the fuck you tell that dude downstairs, man? I thought you was giving me that pack, bro. What the fuck going on? He was like, I thought it was too, man, but I didn't want to come at you until you give it back after I gave it to you. Just gave it to you, man. I said, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. He was like, man, you need to wake the fuck up, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? First of all, you hanging with a fucking predator. That's first though. He was like, a predator? He was like, Weezy, tell this nigga what a predator is. I was like, yo, listen, bro, you ain't see the movie? He was like, man, I seen the movie. I said, bro, that's who dude is downstairs. When I said that, I was like, I caught myself because I'm going too far. But we already in sense of warning this dude, fuck it. So this is what it is. You know what I mean? So he like, nah, Frank's my friend, man. Like, he's not like that. He's not like that. So Kay was like, man, listen, bro, I'm gonna tell you this, one time, man. Like, bro, if you fucking with him, bro, don't come around me, don't ask me for nothing. He was like, you came and asked me for the cigarettes. Like, he kind of got smart slightly, man. So I'm like, I see Kay was like, what? He was like, yo, I don't want no trouble, man. I don't want no trouble, man. Got another Newport. Started smoking a new pot. I was like, yo, bro, come on, bro. You doing arguing with this nigga, bro? This nigga predator bait, bro. Like, you nuts. This nigga out back, bro. Like, we all know how this story gonna end. This is crazy right here. Like, we done heard this before. Like, come on, my guy, what you doing? He like, man, that shit crowd like, bro, fuck that shit, cause we ain't gonna be beefing with no fucking predator. I'm gonna give you 2 boxes of blacks to get that nigga, cause I ordered 10. Get that nigga 2, and that's just what it is. We gonna move on, bro. He was like, we're gonna move on. I was like, bro, that's the only option, my guy. So boom. You know what I mean? Store they roll around, we pay the predator. You know what I mean? I gave it to K to give to him though, because I ain't feel like having my shit go off all fucking day on the conversation or whatever, or just even giving it to him. So K gave it to him. That shit was squashed. So everything went smooth with that. Paul still up to his old activities. Everybody in the pod. I can remember I was playing spades, because this is like the day after commissary. When commissary come, dudes always gambling, dudes playing spades, dudes rocking and rolling. Dudes is chilling in there. When commissary come, dudes making meals, coffee, cutting this up, cutting the sausage. Dudes is doing everything in there around this time. So I'm at the spade table. Me and K playing somebody. We playing 2 dudes from the op. So we at the spade table, we playing them. We bring it to the table, bring $15, best of 2 out of 3. So that's what we playing. You know what I mean? So me and K playing spades. My seat, I'm sitting, I can see the front door. K can't see the front door, and the 2 richer dudes right there. So we playing cards. Yeah, talking junk. Bah. Yeah, what's up? Bring it around the table. Bah! You set. Bah! As I slammed the last card, I heard. Dudes was like, I look, I was like, everybody turn around. You see a cop coming in. You see the big black dude coming in. You see Frank. He was like, this is my word. He came in with his card like this. I promise you. He was like, He walked in. I was like, I had a card in my hand. I was like, I looked at K, I was like, bro, they done brought the predator in our pod, bro. He was like, Lord, man. You know why he up here? You know why he up here? As soon as he walked in, you seen Paul walk. Paul was drinking a cup of coffee. He was like, he started pointing kind of like we think he was going to move to, which was like cell 11. You know what I mean? He was like, predator was like, he took the walk down there with his car. He looked over at us playing cards. He was like, see a couple of other old, I met him, start talking to him. You know what I mean? Talking to him. You go back there, everybody looking like, man, dude, they done move this dude in here, but everybody know what's going on. If you a dude that been doing time, you already know he's over here to chase. He's over here chasing. I told y'all he took it slow, looked out for him forever, from afar. Now it's time to pay that debt. That's why he's up here, you know what I mean? So he go down to cell 11. Put his stuff up, Paul down there the whole time. They closed the door, he put his stuff up, Paul talking to him through the door. Paul standing right there, talking to him the whole time. He come out. This is my word, he come out. He got the thermal shirt, like he had a night hat. He was bald-headed dude, but it's like he had a night hat or something, like a little beanie he made, but it was made out of thermal, and at the top it came down like one of them scullies that had the balls, paws, like the winter scullies. He had one of them jokes he made out of long john. That's where that joke used to hang down. He come down, he got the tight thermal on. He come out, got the thermal hat. He's standing out there. He like, state boots tied. It's like he's silent the pod. I'll be like, Paul's the only potential victim. I was like, oh shit. I looked up at that nigga and seen that nigga scanning the pod. I'm like niggas don't see. I see the red shit. Like he just going across the pod. I said, that's fucking psycho, man. I'm like, this shit crazy as a bitch. Paul stayed packed. Paul stayed right there. Keep talking to him. They kicking it. You know what I mean? Goddamn, like, this is wild as hell, man. Call standby for dinner. We walk outside the dinner. We come back. When I come back in the hallway, I look. I see Paul and the dude. I see the dude, Frank. He talking to the sergeant dude. I'm like, I walk by. I see the sergeant dude like, cause they be knowing, like I be telling y'all these stories, they be knowing what's going on. They be knowing what's going on. They just be trying to like making sure they tracks are covered. But their whole plan is to try to keep everybody happy, including the predators. I'm telling y'all think I'm lying, man. Don't ever come to jail. You see this stuff, man. Sergeant standing there like this, little short dude. He like, all right. That's all I heard as I get up the steps. I'm like, I look up, Paul waiting for him at the door. Paul got a pack of Newports in his hand. Paul doing good. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this man, maybe this is what he wants. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But all I know is he's waiting for this man. Man come up the steps, super happy. You know what I mean? Goddamn, they talk for a minute. Probably about, I'll say the next day. Next day roll around, the CO lady come on the intercom. She called Paul last name. She told him to move to cell 11. You know what I mean? I guess she called him to Paul's cell and told his roommate, you know what I mean, that he was moving in Paul's old cell with my old roommate. So I'm like, this is crazy. So I look up, Paul moving over there with comfort. Paul, he got his little box. He walked over that junk like it was nothing. He was like, I looked up, I seen the Predator coming out of the cell. The rest of this stuff, Predator had 2 net bags. He was like, he did the unhappy walk. Paul was in front of him. He was like, did the unhappy walk with the larger bags. They get to cell 11, they get in there. Paul getting his stuff right. As soon as I look up, Paul sitting on the box already watching TV. He like, Predator had the little Magna box, the little silver joint, the little sweet joint you can play the surround sounds with the auxiliary cord. He in that joint looking at the TV like, Predator like, he was just standing in front of the door waiting for the door to close. He was like, lady said, we're closing the doors. Door said, the door shut. Next thing you know, go up, game.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes.